One clue to the mystery of who she is may be the ornament she wears on her balzo. It's circular and appears to be made of gold and white enamel, depicting a winged horse. Scholars have suggested that this horse connects the sitter to one of two noble families in and around Parma, the Cavalli and Baiardi families, one of whose coat of arms includes a horse and the other a horse's head. But such heraldry calls for an earthly horse. This creature is winged. It is mythological and likely the winged horse Pegasus, who is said to have been born of the blood dripping from Medusa's severed head. As you'll remember from classical mythology, Pegasus struck the ground of Mount Helicon with his hoof, and the earth opened up and outgushed forth the Hippocrene spring, sacred to Apollo and the Muses, and whose water nourished poets with poetic inspiration. Thus, in the Renaissance, Pegasus was the quintessential emblem of poetic inspiration. The emblem is perhaps best known in relation to Pietro Bembo, perhaps the most significant poet of the 16th century, because on the reverse of his portrait medal, he chose Pegasus as his personal device in the 1540s. Both in Bembo's medal and on the Schiava Turca's headdress, we see not just Pegasus, but Pegasus at the very moment he creates the Hippocrene spring. Note that Parmigianino dashes a quick stroke of white at the bottom to evoke the gush of poetic waters from the earth. In a general sense, virtually every portrait of a beautiful woman in the Renaissance is connected to poetry. In the Petrarchan tradition, poets and painters competed over who could better capture the beauty of a woman, the poet with his poems or the painter with his paintings. Beautiful women and their portraits were seen as muses who inspired male poets and painters. Thus, the Schiava Turca is connected to poetry in this general sense and directly to poetry through her ornament of Pegasus. The new proposal I'm making for the identity of the Schiava Turca inverts previous notions of this woman's relationship to poetry. Perhaps rather than a beautiful, passive muse who inspires male poets, she could herself be a poet. After all, she wears the very symbol of poetic inspiration on her head, the site of intellect and creativity.